Namo Namaha friends, I am RRK. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things bookish. So in this video, I wanted to try the experience of vlogging myself. I enjoy watching other booktubers' vlogs, so I thought why not try it myself as well. Now, this is my first vlog, so please bear with me if you find something less than ideal. If you would like to see more or less of something, or if you would like me to change something, then please do let me know in the comment section below. I will be more than glad to listen to your feedback or comments. Now, in this video, what I'll be doing is I'll be reading a series of books. I stumbled upon an Icelandic thriller author named Ursa, and I have been loving her Children's House series, and I realized I must vlog my experience of reading it, and that's exactly what I'll be attempting to do in this video. So then let's begin. As mentioned before, Ursa is an Icelandic author, and I'm reading the translated version of her Children's House series. This is a detective crime thriller series where a detective Hulda and a child psychologist Freya team up to catch the serial killers in each book in the series. I've already read the first book in the series called The Legacy, and I loved it so much that I have already started with the second book in the series, The Reckoning. So before continuing with The Reckoning, let me give you the synopsis and my thoughts on The Legacy first. In The Legacy, we begin with a child watching her mother getting brutally murdered in front of her. Hidden though she's severely traumatized and is a key witness to the case. Freya is pulled into the case as she's a child psychologist, and she's determined to keep the child safe. Now, as expected, the child is not forthcoming with information, but she does let it slip that the murderer will attempt to kill again. Now, this lets the cat among the pigeons, and the police are on a race against time to catch the killer and at the same time save the next victim. Now, I absolutely was mesmerized by the story. The writing style is so different from the usual American mystery thrillers that I usually read, that this was very, very refreshing. It goes without saying that along with the author, the translator also deserves a whole lot of credit. Victoria Cribb's translation is so impeccable that I find it hard to remember that this is a translated work. The police are kind of chill and laid back, like the Icelandic weather, I presume. Iceland is supposed to have a very low crime rate, and that reflects in the story and the attitudes of the characters as well. I'm glad I found the series. I gave the first book, The Legacy, 4.5 stars. I will talk to you guys once I'm done with the second book. Bye. So I managed to complete The Reckoning, the second book in Ursa's Children's House thriller series, and this is an update of that. So in this story, we are following a teenager's prediction of murders. Okay, so the teenager had kept a time capsule where the teenager predicts the deaths of 6 people in future, and now during Hulda's time, bodies are starting to drop, and somehow these deaths are related to the time capsule of the teenager. So now, because teenagers are involved, who are now adults obviously, but then because it is the teenager, Freya, the child psychologist, is also involved in this case, and now Hulda and Freya must find out this mystery of the time capsule and who are these people who are dying and why are they dying. That is the story. Now, just as in the first book, I was riveted by this story. As usual, Ursa's writing is impeccable, and I think Ursa follows a kind of a formula here. So initially, she starts off with a very gruesome murder. Then Huldar, Freya and the police team, they start chasing some leads which almost always leads to dead ends. You as a reader will rarely understand whatever is going on, but towards the end, that is in the third act, it always comes together and all the dead ends are properly tied up together to form a very nice picture. So I think this is the formula that Ursa is following. At least that's what I have seen in these two books that I have read. It is a very satisfying read. So absolutely, I'm going to continue with the series. I gave this book 4 stars, and can you tell I'm addicted to this series now? Also, I must mention that I am reading this on audio, and I highly recommend the audiobooks as the Icelandic names and places are a treat to hear. So I will continue reading the next book, The Absolution, that is also on audio, and I will get back to you with an update on that book when I'm done with it.
Day 3.
Namo Namaha friends, I'm back with the update of the third book in the Children's House series by Ursa. So this is The Absolution. I am flying through these books. It's the third day. I'm already done with 3 books, and I think I have another 2 or 3 books left in the series. I'm not sure if the last book is translated yet, so I do not know if I will be able to read it or not, but it's good. It's good, guys. 3 books done, 2 more to go. So let me give you an update of how the third book, The Absolution, was. Unlike the previous 2 books where the victims were adults, in this book, the victims are teenagers themselves. So that is the reason why Freya, the child psychologist, is again pulled into the investigation with Holdar. So in this story, one teenager is brutally and mercilessly murdered live. The video has been broadcasted to all the friends and families via Snapchat. And the second victim has also been mercilessly beaten, and that video has also been broadcasted. Now, the police is trying to find the victim as well as the murderer. They are not sure if the victim has died, so it's almost like a hostage situation. So they are trying to get this victim back. Though I enjoyed the story, I wasn't enthralled with this book as I was with the first 2 books. Mainly because I found the story to be a little meandering in the middle. The attitude of the police is also a little too laid back for me, and that kind of bothered me. Especially if you can't hurry up to find the murderer when a teenager is missing and possibly dying somewhere, when will you hurry up? So I found something lacking in this story, so I gave this story 3 stars, but I still am very enamored with Ursa's writing. I'm very enamored with the translation. I still enjoy the kind of storytelling that Ursa is feeding us with. So I definitely want to continue with the next 2 books as well. I'll talk to you guys again when I complete the next books in the series. Till then, bye.
Few days later.
Namo Namaha friends. It's been quite a few days since I read the previous 3 books in Ursa's Children's House thriller series, and since then I have managed to complete 2 other books in that series. The last book, 6th book, I think it's been translated. I'm not so sure. It's called Silence. But I have not been able to find that book either in the form of audiobook or ebook. So I will be ending this vlog with my thoughts on the first 5 books in the series. And before moving on to my complete thoughts on the entire series, let me take you through the last 2 books in the series. So last week I read Gallows Rock, which is the 4th book in the Children's House series by Ursa. In this particular novel, the story starts off with a guy being murdered in a place called Gallows Rock. This is a very secluded place near the ocean or sea. I'm not sure. We open up with a scene where that guy is taken to that gallows rock and he is made to hang himself. And this murder is staged as a suicide. Then we also find that a small child, I think about 3 to 4 years old, is found to be alone in a house. And hence our child psychologist Freya gets a call in her children's house to go and get that child from that place, because nobody knows who this kid is. While they are there, they come face to face with Huldar, who is in charge of this murder investigation. So now they do not know how that guy who was murdered is linked to that child, and because a child is again involved in this case, Freya and Huldar have to work together again. So that is how it starts off. As in Ursa's other novels, she follows the same formula. So she starts off with a very gruesome murder, then she kind of lays down all the pieces as in a chessboard, and we simply cannot make sense of what is happening. Finally, in the end, because they receive 1 or 2 clues, they are able to resolve the mystery. It was really nice. As usual, Ursa's books are very fast-paced, and it's never a chore to read her books. I absolutely enjoyed reading her books, but I had a few problems with this book. One is I really didn't like the characterization in this novel. I was expecting more depth in the characters as the series progressed, but I couldn't see that. The relationship between Freya and Huldar is always in a limbo. It's just not moving forward, and it kind of is very frustrating. In fact, their entire lives, it's not moving. Apart from these cases and apart from the investigation, nothing much is going on in their lives. So it feels like cutout models rather than humans. They are so one-dimensional, so I don't feel like I'm able to relate to these characters. Not only Huldar and Freya, even Erla. Erla at least has some sort of personality. She is always very angry and frustrated, and she shows some sort of a personality and character, but Huldar, Freya, Gudlaugur, all these guys, they just don't seem to have any personality, and that kind of is really bothering me, because at this stage in the series where I'm already through 4 books in the series, I expect some sort of character growth in the characters that I'm supposed to care for. Also, in this particular novel, Gallows Rock story, Freya doesn't appear at all. It's supposed to be Freya and Huldar's series. I'm sure I can actually count in both hands how many times Freya appears in the novel. And as I said, there was not much characterization. I was not very happy with the way this book went. Of course, the mystery part was really good. The story was really good. I really liked it. I'm kind of irritated with Huldar's personality. I'm just not vibing with it. And Freya, I would like to see more of her. Her relationship with Saga, her niece, is really developing, and I'm enjoying that. I adore Saga. In the end of this novel, a new twist was included, which I'm very interested to see where it goes. That was about Gallows Rock. I think I gave it 3.5 stars. Then I also read the last book for this vlog, which was The Doll. It is the 5th book in the Children's House series. As I said, I couldn't get hold of the last book, the 6th book, which is called Silence. I'm not sure if it is even translated or if it is available. I am not going to bother myself with searching for it and trying too hard to get hold of that book. When it becomes available, I'm going to read it. So as of now, I'm going to stop at 5 books. So I read The Doll, the 5th book in the series, and this story, it had a horror element in it, and I found it very, very interesting. I do not read horror novels at all. I might watch horror movies, even that is a rarity. I do not remember reading any horror novels in my entire life. That is one genre that I have never touched. So this one had little, it's not supernatural, it doesn't have any mystical realism elements and all that. It's not a horror novel at all, but she has included some horror elements in the story, and that makes this novel a little bit creepy. And I usually read in the night time, and I was really creeped out by this book. Brutality wise, it has Ursa's signature all over it. So let me tell you what the story is all about. The story is about a doll, as is obvious from the title. A mother and daughter, they go to a fishing trip along with her colleague, mother's colleague. They are fishing and they're having a fun time. What happens is they find a weird doll, and the child Rosa, she insists that she needs that doll, though the mother is not very eager, and she's thoroughly creeped out because the doll is hideous. It obviously was in the sea for a very long time, and hence it has lost most of its hair and its eyeballs, and it looks really hideous. The child insists and the mother, she gives in, and they take it back to their house. In the house, something happens and the mother dies. So this is how the first chapter ends. This is the flashback, and then we move forward to the current time where Hulda and Freya are there. In the present day, they stumble upon some bones in the sea. So one is the case where these guys are trying to find out who the bones belong to, and in another case, Freya is pulled into a case where a teenager says that he was sexually abused by his caretaker, and that becomes a huge scandal because the caretaker who's supposed to take care of these kids is now involved in the scandal, and now they have to investigate all the kids who have been taken care of by him. So Freya is taken into that case, and she's trying to find out if the guy who was accused of that sexual abuse is really a sexual offender or not, if he is a pedophile or not. So she is involved in that case. Now things work out in such a way that Rosa, who is now a teenager, she is a key witness in all of these cases, and they are unable to get hold of Rosa because she has escaped from her foster care again. She has that habit of running away from the foster care, and so she has run away again, and now they are trying to find out this girl who's a key witness in so many cases and get her to tell the truth. Obviously, Hulda and Freya are involved in it, and they are trying to find out what exactly happened and how was all of this related to the doll. As usual, it starts with a brutal murder, and then in between you are unable to figure out head or tail of that story, and in the end it comes together so beautifully. Every single question is answered perfectly, and it was a very satisfying conclusion to the story. So as in the previous book, only complaint was that there was not much of a character development in the story, but I loved the story much more than the previous two books because there was this horror element and it was very creepy and it kept me interested throughout. So I gave this book 4 stars. So that concludes my Ursa's Children's House Thriller series vlog. As you guys know, this is my first vlog. I have never attempted a vlog before this. I do not know how this will turn out to be. It was fun reading such an amazing series. If I'm not wrong, except Gallows Rock, I have given every single book 4 or above 4 stars. So that is a hugely successful vlog in my opinion, because giving 4 books out of 5 more than 4 stars, that means it's a really good series. I am a huge fan of Ursa's writing, as must be obvious from this vlog, and I'm very eagerly looking forward to reading more of her work, translated work of course. So the sooner they translate, the sooner we get her works and the more of her works we can read. So do check out this Icelandic author Ursa. She is an amazing writer. If you are a fan of detective thrillers, a little laid back detective thriller but very very interesting cases, and the way the case opens up and reveals the truth within, then you will definitely enjoy this novel series. So do take your time out and give this series a try, and let me know if you have read any of these books, what your thoughts are. Do you like them or don't you like them? What are your thoughts? Do let me know in the comment section below. I would love to chat. I use this channel to propagate my bookish thoughts. So if bookish videos like mine are your jam, then please do consider liking my videos and subscribing to my channel. And yes, please don't forget to click on that bell icon to get notified of all my videos. Until next time, stay safe, healthy and happy. Om Shanti.